What are you saying? Hey, we are here. Episode number, I lost count. But welcome to What Are You Saying? I am your host, Virdef Sainan. With me, the magic woman producing for today, the pride and joy of Tracy, California, the coal miner, the coal miner's daughter. Please give it up for Chloe Lynch.
Hello.
And let me give an intro for our next guest. I had the pleasure of meeting him at the world famous Town Pub. You can see him all around town, absolutely killing it. A great friend of mine, really funny man. Give it up for Keon Larry.
Hey, how we doing?
We are here. What are you saying? Let me grab my questions here.
That's a lot of questions.
Some of these were chat GP, but some of them I wrote. We're gonna do the origin story. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Where were you born? Where are you from, man?
Portland, Oregon, May 21st, 1986. I was born on a Tuesday at 8:33 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how long were you in Portland?
Till I was about 2 years old, and then my dad moved me up to Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
You grew up. Where did you have a mom?
Yeah, I did, but that's
when you were born. Was there a mom?
That's the tricky part. That's the tricky part. Okay. I did have a mom. She was from what I understand, from my family members and from my father, was that she was a prostitute. So,
Sex worker.
sex worker. Sorry. I feel like I just misgendered somebody.
That's the appropriate term in Seattle. In Seattle, you're good. That's appropriate.
No, but it was just not a good environment for me to be in. And so my dad grabbed me and my siblings and were like, we're done. And then moved us to Washington, where he met my current mother, whom I love, and they got married.
What is your current mother's name?
Anne. And that's crazy because my birth mother's name was Anne, too.
Your father
Yeah.
father falls in love with the ants.
Yeah, 100%. So he moved me up here when I was 2, and so as far as I can remember, I've been living in Washington State my whole life. I grew up in Wallingford, right next to Gasworks Park.
All of Wallingford, like all your whole life?
Most of it, and then from Wallingford, when I was about 13, we moved to Shoreline, or not Shoreline, Lake Forest Park, and then we lived in Lake Forest Park for the remainder of my young life.
North End, baby.
North
over
End,
here.
baby. Yeah.
I'm from the east side.
Huh? What part?
Bellevue.
Bellevue. That's right.
Yeah.
You were like the only Asian guy out there.
I was the only Southeast Asian.
There we go.
There's like the fancy Asians,
Yeah.
mainland, the Chinese. There was the Koreans, but
Yeah.
Southeast Asian definitely is small. But I mean, Southeast Asians, we're just small in numbers,
Yeah.
just in general. You know,
Yeah, it's a small island.
it's not.
It's not an island where you're from?
No,
I was close.
Bellevue's
though, right?
not an
I was
island.
close.
Mercer.
Laos is not an island.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I didn't mean like Bellevue was an island.
I thought you meant.
I was thinking of his
You meant
Southeast
Bellevue.
Asian heritage. He probably, grew up on an island. I don't know,
Laos
man.
is not an island. You hear that, everyone? Everyone learned that just now. Laos is not an island.
Clearly, I was not an academic growing up. Okay. Geography was my worst subject.
The Philippines is an island in Southeast Asia. But believe me, I've been called Filipino.
Okay.
I've been called Vietnamese.
Mulan.
I've been called Mulan,
What's Mulan?
the Disney character.
Really? Like literally Disney Mulan? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way this guy's getting called a Chinese woman.
I was trying to holler at this woman. She said, "You would be a great Mulan."
I would be defeated.
And
If
I
somebody
was-
told that to me, like, man, Keon, you'd play a perfect milk dud. Like,
I was like, "You got a hairband?"
that would mess me up. That would mess
Dude,
me
Meredith
up.
was down to role play,
Hey,
for
man.
this one.
Hey,
Would you?
huh?
Let's get down to business.
Hey,
To
you know?
defeat the
We
Hun.
don't have rights to this song.
Oh, shoot. We can't play that.
Blah, blah,
Disney's
blah,
going to sue
blah.
us.
Disney. It's all good.
Sorry, Disney.
Sponsor ways.
Sponsor ways.
Give me your
Alright,
money,
alright.
please.
We're deviating here. So Shoreline.
Shoreline.
We're
I
up
went
north.
to Brookside Elementary. Then I went to Kellogg Middle School. Then Shorecrest.
High school.
Yeah. And I was a theater kid, man. So
I could tell.
I'm a theater kid.
No, seriously, the first time I saw you perform at Town Pub, you had this you had really good stage presence.
Thank you.
Which is only amplified over the last year I've seen you. But you also had this kind of like preacher style. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but if you had a suit and a Bible, I am giving you 10% of my income.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I was just
100%. 10% to the pastor.
You're just like January 6th, white people's holiday.
Yeah.
Do you hear me here,
Yeah.
people?
Brothers and sisters of the congregation,
Yeah, I
we
was like-
have gathered here today.
I was like, I'm catching the Holy
know?
Ghost over here.
You know, I got the donation dish going around the bar.
Don't ask why Keon needs this 10%.
You know, this is God. This is for
Yes.
Jesus.
I'm catching something over here.
Right?
Okay.
Ching.
Yeah, theater kid most of my life. I did ballet for about 4.5 years when I was younger. Yeah, I got a scholarship to McCaw Hall for this thing called Dance Chance when I was 7 years old. And they were like, yo, instead of you paying like a year's salary so your kid can have an opportunity, we're going to randomly pick a couple kids from inner city schools.
Wow.
And they chose me. And so I was going to McCaw Hall and getting the full treatment, learning ballet, the history, dancing. And then I was in the Nutcracker, that Christmas play. I'm sure.
Oh
most of
my
you guys know. I
gosh.
did the Nutcracker
I
for
love
4 years.
Nutcracker.
Yeah, and I got paid for that. And I was like 7 years old making this money.
Aw,
Yeah,
7?
I was 7 years
Cute.
old in little leotards jumping around the stage to violins. It was great.
Adorable.
Never saw much of that money though. Because I was 7 and my parents were like, we'll just hold it for you so you don't blow it all in one place. And I'm like, I'm 7. I have no idea where to even spend $1,000. Like, I'm asking for candy and comics here. What makes you think I'm going to blow $1,000? So whatever.
So you do the high school. So when was the ballet? Elementary school?
Ballet was elementary school. Then once I got into middle school.
Why did you drop it?
I just didn't want to keep doing it. I don't know. I know there were benefits to it. I enjoyed doing it, but I was getting to that age where kids were going to start making fun of you for being cooler than they were for doing ballet.
Uh-huh.
So I guess
But I
just,
mean, North End, predominantly white. Right?
yeah.
So what were the kids doing? Skateboarding or?
The kids in my neighborhood were like, they were active. A lot of them were like BMXers and rollerbladers. And
Okay.
this one kid up the street named Justin and Jason, they were these 2 twin kids. And their dad bought them all these dirt bikes, and they built a track in their backyard. So I would just like walk a block up the street, and there'd be a dirt bike track with jumps and ramps, and we were lighting shit on fire.
So were you more like, oh, I want to join this type of lifestyle? Was that the change?
No, I didn't know what I wanted
Yeah.
at that point in
And
time.
how old were you at the time?
At this point in time, I'm about 15, 16 years old.
But when did the ballet stop? Is my
The
question.
ballet stopped right before middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind
Yeah.
of like,
Yeah. And that's a turning point in middle school because then there's some level of coolness needs to come involved.
yeah, and I was not cool.
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
cool.
Ballet is not cool.
Ballet's not cool. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Thank you for subscribing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn on notifications too.
So you're going into middle school and you decide
With
to
braces and fresh off of ballet, and all the friends that I had, because when we moved to Shoreline, I had all my friends in Wallingford, so I had to change schools. And so it's that awkward point where like I don't want to have to remake friends, so I just didn't really hang out with too many people.
Yeah.
My little brother, when he went and we moved to Shoreline Lake Forest Park, all the kids in the neighborhood were his age.
Yeah.
Like they were all like 10 years old, and I was like 15, and or around that teenage. So I couldn't like go hang out with these little kids, but also
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody else, and I didn't have these social skills.
Yeah. So what did you end up doing in middle school, like for like sports or activities?
Oof. I did track and field. I did football. I
Okay.
did not play basketball. I don't like basketball.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I
Okay.
don't like it. So I did track. I went to state 2 years in a row. I broke a couple of records. I was fast.
Yeah.
I was fast.
You're still a very energetic man, by
Yes.
the way. So it's now, see, as we unravel the Keon Orden story, it's
Yeah.
all making sense.
It's all making sense.
The ballet, the track, okay. And then, so high school, same thing, just stuck
High
with
school,
track.
same thing.
Okay.
Track. That's when I kind of started to blossom into myself. I feel, because like I started hanging out with the popular crew because I was on a sports team, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I feel cool and accepted. It's high school,
Yeah.
you know. So did that for a while, and then there was this whole thing where my coaches would always be like, "Man, if you would have started earlier, Keon, you could have been the next Usain Bolt." And I'm like,
Like, he's
know.
Jamaican.
yeah, he's Jamaican. Two, like I'm not trying to be an Olympic athlete. I'm doing this for fun, you know, like.
Yeah.
And it was crazy too because I'm not an academic, you know, so like my teachers were like letting me pass
Yeah.
so I could compete. Like I remember senior
Same.
year, they're like,
Same thing in my high school.
I'm going to state, right? The school's never won a record or a trophy. I'm over there failing history.
Yeah.
My teacher calls me into the office and she's like, you know, how about we just make this like a D-
Yeah.
so you can go? And I'm just like, thanks. Like shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But the thing is, that's how the school system is.
oh yeah.
They just push people out,
Yeah.
and then, you know,
Yeah.
people end up having these, terrible jobs because they're not educated.
Well, and not even that, because my little brother went to college. He went through all this. He succeeded, and he is still not happy. I don't know.
What does
If he ever sees this podcast, like, he's a firefighter. He went to school and college with a communications degree.
Hold on. You don't need 4 years to learn how to put out a fire.
No. But, like, exactly. So he went to school for something that he doesn't have a career in. And,
Yeah, a lot
like,
of
he
people
loves
do
being a firefighter. Our dad was a firefighter. I was going to join the fire department. Yeah, I was going to do it until I realized I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being there and taking the test too. And like,
What is the test? Here's some water.
well, a lot of it is math on the spot, safety protocols, and machine operating stuff, and water regulation. There's a lot more to it, but I mean the part of it that I didn't want, because like I like helping people. I like the physical part of it. It's badass to jump into a fire and save people.
Yeah.
It really is. That's fucking tight.
Chloe,
but-
It's really hot.
I don't like the culture of the fire department.
because it's white.
No, well, yeah, but it's more like you're part of a new family, a brotherhood. Like you only hang out with other firefighters. You work on days on your days off just because we need you. And my little brother's like, yo, I just bought a house and they're calling me in for overtime. It's like it's mandatory overtimes, and it's all because the fire department in Seattle is running out of firefighters.
They're running out of a lot of
They're
things.
running out of a lot of things. So
Oh
like
my
my brother's
Cops.
just kind of over, and he's like, I was like, well, how's the job? Are you okay? And he's like, most of it, the calls are boring.
Yeah.
Like it's an old lady who fell down or
Yeah.
a crackhead whose heart stopped.
Do they make good money?
They'll start you off at like 70 a year.
Okay. But eventually you'll probably get to 6 figures.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to go up in the ranks, you can test for that too. But then more responsibility and all this.
More
and
overtime.
More overtime. And like, I don't want to live at the firehouse.
Yeah.
And like, bro, like I respect the fire department, but you also lose part of your identity when you join that. And that's one thing I refuse to do. Because you join the Seattle Fire Department, you're no longer Keon, who is a firefighter. You are now part of this, and that's just it.
Did you have a question?
Mm,
You looked like you had a question.
no.
All right, back to me.
All right. I like that. It's business.
You got siblings. You got one brother?
2 brothers, 2 sisters.
All from, and I'm sorry, I did not catch the backstory. I know
Yeah.
you had the mom.
Yeah.
From birth, that gave
so
birth to-
my dad had me, my older brother, and my 2 sisters with my sex worker mom.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. Like, do better. Do better, Key. I'm trying to be better. And then when he remarried, and like, check this out. So when he moves me up here, he doesn't move all the siblings up. My dad just moves me and my older sister, even though I have 2 sisters. So my younger older sister stayed with my mom.
Why?
And I don't know. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Where's your father?
My father's passed.
Oh.
He passed in 2018.
So we'll never get the answer.
Yeah. Well, and then like I still keep in touch with my sister down there, but not my birth mom. And then like I have an older brother who's like 45 years old, 50, who lives in Linwood. We don't talk much. He looks like Forrest Whitaker.
Let's unpack. Let's
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Your mom never spoken to her?
I have. The first time I had ever met her, because like growing up, I'd be like, well, clearly my stepmom is white, and my birth mom is black. And as a kid, you're like, I did not come from her. Where's my real mother? And every time I asked, I would get scolded. Go to your room. We don't bring her up. This is your new mom now.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo,
Whoa.
bruh, dad, like, can we talk about this? So that went on my whole life.
That's a lot of trauma.
So then I get to 18, 19 years old. And I'm like, yo, I want to meet my mom. Like, let me decide
Yeah.
for myself. So I reach out. I'm like, can I, hello, I'm your son. The
Wow.
fuck? And it's crazy because, like, you're still raising my sister in Oregon.
Did you have communication with your older sister?
Not really.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah. And so I meet her for the first time at 19. We meet up at a fucking Starbucks up the street from my house. Like,
I don't
I didn't-
understand. So she came from Oregon?
Portland, yeah, she drove up here.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't tell my dad I was doing this. I didn't tell nobody I was doing this.
Were you living with your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh.
And so he didn't know that I was, like, reaching out to her. And because, like, my sisters, both of them, even though I had one sister up here who I was in constant contact with, she was always in constant contact with my mom, but I wasn't in contact with her. So I'm like, what's the deal? So I reach out to her. I'm like, yo, you're raising my sisters. I came from you. You know him. And she's like, oh, I know. So I meet up with her when I'm 19. And, like, I'm like, well, where the hell were you? And I get some vapid, kind of vague answers on, well, your father's anger and this and that. It was just weird. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she, like, literally just tells me that she was a drunk and a junkie. And I'm like, well, whatever. I don't care about the past. Like, let's move forward. Let's have a stable relationship. And after that, I thought we were going to be more of a mother-son thing. And that didn't happen. She just kind of faded away and did her own thing. And, yeah.
What about the older sister now? Have you spoken to her?
No, I made a vow to never speak to her again.
Did something happen?
Yeah, at my father's funeral, I was distraught. Not
Yeah.
distraught, but I was drinking. I was sad.
And grief.
And grief,
Yeah.
man. I was grieving, and I was really drunk. And I remember, like, I was so drunk that my sister and my mom were like, you need to calm down. Kind of thing. I'm like, fine, whatever, I'll calm down. And then
You were
I
sloppy.
was sloppy. And, like, but nobody would talk to me. Even when I was sober, I'm like, yo, can we talk? I want to talk about dad, So I remember at my dad's funeral, I'm there with my brother, my mom, my son, my girl. Everybody's there. And I'm trying to talk to my older sister, and she's just giving me the silent treatment at my dad's funeral. I'm like,
Cold shoulder?
cold shoulder. And, like, meanwhile, she's trying to talk to my kid and my girl. And I'm like, no. Whoa, what's going on? And she just wouldn't say a word to me. And to this day, I don't know why exactly. So I'm like, yo, if you can't talk to me now when we need each other the most, then I'm just never going to talk to you again. And when I say that,
Yeah.
when I say, like, I am never going to do that again, like, I got to stick to my words. So I haven't talked to her since the funeral. And then she, like, reaches out to my mom all the time, like, I really hope Keon's okay. And my mom's like, why don't you just call him?
The stepmom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
How was the dynamic of you and your stepmom growing up?
oof, great.
Okay.
She's a very sweet, forgiving woman. She loves being the housewife. She was, like, my dad was really intense. He was a very strong, stoic, salt of the earth guy, roll your hands, but sometimes that could be intense. And for a softer touch, I would go to her, obviously. But she had her own issues too, so.
But it sounds like a good balance.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like a
What
lot
is-
of.
What is your father's background? Like, he sounds very intense, like army or something, or what is
no,
where do
my
you think that
pops
comes from?
is, growing up in Philly in the 50s.
Yo,
Yeah, he
Philly right now is hard.
Bro, I was in Philadelphia for a comedy show, and my cousin Dwayne hits me up, and he's like my dad's second son. And he loves my dad, so he's like, "Yo, cuz, we gotta meet up. If you're in North Philly, this is where the family's from." I'm like, hell yeah. So he picks me up and he's like, I gotta show you where Pop grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, see my father's house where he grew up. Like, this is gonna be intense. And we fucking pull up, and we are in the straight fucking hood in North
Okay.
Philly. We're in the hood so much that I'm like, yo, roll up the windows. Like, I'm like dead serious. She's like, there's your pop's house. And I'm like, and I want to take a picture of it, but I don't want people to think it's a fucking drive-by.
Yeah.
Like, it was like that. And it was in the middle of the night. And there's this car that's just parked right in front of it. We pull up to a stop sign behind a car, and the car doesn't move. And I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, lock the doors real quick and back up from this car real quick, just in case. I didn't know it was gonna happen, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and then after that, I'm like, well, let's go get a drink at that bar. He's like, nope, we can't go to that bar.
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, it's North Philly in 2023, and it's supposed to be the city of brotherly love.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So,
true. That's the
like,
motto.
I'm like, and even the people in Philadelphia are like, no,
Oh.
this is not the city of Philadelphia.
where's-
It's not the city of brotherly love.
Where's Will Smith at?
Bro, Will Smith is underneath Jada Pinkett Shakur's boot.
Yeah.
I used to respect that man.
You've been following the whole
Oh, buddy.
about how they weren't even together
yeah.
during the whole
What
slap.
a fucked up thing to do to a guy after he did that for you in your name.
Yeah,
Like, that man is broken. That man is 100% broken after that.
is that sympatry?
It's-
Are we simping?
Simped.
Simping?
Simp.
Simp?
Simp.
Whatever. He's a
Simping.
simp.
He is a
I'll say it
simp,
right
yeah.
now. Will, if you're listening, I'll box you. I know you played Muhammad Ali, but we can go.
Oh yeah, bro, you would win.
Yeah,
You would win. He's
'cause
used to
you a
getting beat by
simp.
Jada Pinkett Shakur. Just
Like I said before, I'll take you to Chinatown. We'll get some simp fried rice.
Ooh, snap peas.
Oh my.
On fire. All right. So
Oh wait, I have a message to Will Smith. Will Smith, do you want to go hang out sometime? Okay, that's all. I don't want to fight you.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
I'll cut that out during the editing. All right. So we got the mom. We got question about your mom. When you met up with her, how was her state? Was she? My question
She's
is
off. She's
because
off. She's definitely off.
because I'm in recovery. I'm
Yeah.
just curious on 10, 19 years she has this baby.
Uh-huh.
Fast forward, how is she now? Is she working? Is she, you know what I mean? Like,
I think she's worse off
wow.
personally. Just because I hear what because my sisters still talk to her and my sisters talk to my stepmom. And so they conversate about my birth mother. Apparently she's on pills now. And her state of mind when I met her when I was 19, even as a 19-year-old, I'm like, you seem kind of off.
Yeah.
She might not have been high or drunk, but you could definitely tell she was something's up.
But at the
you know.
same time, when you have been doing drugs, it does damage the brain. So you can
Yeah.
definitely, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that was when I was 19, but now it's gotten worse. And apparently she's taken something where she's dozing all the time, and you know what that is.
So did you go to college?
Yeah, I dropped out. I went to Shoreline Community.
You dropped out of high school?
No, not out of high school. I scraped by on that. And then I took a couple years off. I remember right after high school, I went to Europe with one of my friends.
Where in Europe?
Germany, Italy, Spain, Holland, France, Norway.
How long were you out there
Oh.
for?
About a month and a half.
Just partying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was for a woman too. I remember seniors. Don't laugh at that. So
Always
there
for
was
a woman.
there was this foreign exchange student who came to my school my senior year. Her name was Janina Boschera. Janina, I still think about you.
Holla.
Holla. Janina Boschera. She was gorgeous. She was just like your
Even the name is sexy.
oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, Nina?
Janina.
Yeah, Nina.
Of course, she
Janina?
was a blonde German chick who was just she looked like a Barbie doll.
Hmm.
And she had an accent, and I'm a sucker for accents. So we start dating my senior year, and then graduation comes. She's gonna go back to Germany, and I'm like, I'm going with you because I fucking
Oh.
It's like a movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I talked to my parents. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna save up this money. Got my buddy with me. He's got a Filipino guy that I went with. The Filipino guy that I went with had family in Germany.
But he's Filipino. He's going to island, my island.
Yeah, go back to your island where Laos is.
I'm an island.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Island boy.
Island boy. What the twat.
Oh yeah. So
So you,
I went out there.
wait, hold on. Let's backtrack here. The Filipino. You got-
Robbie Fernanda. That was the captain of the dance team, baby.
Wha-
That dude could move.
Oh yeah, Filipinos dance.
Yo, bro,
Oh,
that
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
They're really good at karaoke too.
Oh, yeah, that's a known thing.
Yeah.
That's like in the blood.
What?
Yeah.
No, in the Southeast Asian community, we all know that they get down to karaoke.
Oh yeah.
Karaoke, dancing,
And
and
lumpias.
lumpias,
Oh.
I love
Lumpia.
lumpias.
and fashion.
Really?
I think because in my high school, the Filipinos, they were on point.
Oh yeah, no.
But I don't know if it's because they all breakdance
No,
and
that's what it
breakdancing,
is,
they got to be
yeah.
fly.
Yeah.
But every Filipino I know, I'm always like, okay.
No, Robbie was a fly guy.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very tailored, well put together dude, but he was like chill.
Yeah.
Like, but you could tell the hoodie and jeans and shoes he put on were like specialty.
Shout out to the Filipinos.
Shout out to the Filipinos.
Interview, I'm going to grab my food.
Oh, yeah, you got food.
Okay. Oh, food. We ordered food. So, okay. So there's Filipinos everywhere, all around the world, which is so cool. So what you went to Germany first?
Yeah, I was in Germany first because that's where Janina was from. So I go to Germany. I'm staying at her house. Her parents don't speak English. You got some black dude in your house from America who's been dating your daughter. You know, I mean, and they were so welcoming. They were really cool people. They were really nice.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that a week into the trip, she was going to break up with me.
Why
Yeah,
did she break up with you?
I mean, because I live in America, and like, unless I'm moving to Germany or she's moving back with me, and part of me knew that. Part of me knew that, you know. But I was like, can you at least have waited till I left or like the day? But she's like,
was this your first heartbreak?
It was my first major one, yeah.
Oh.
And so I'm sitting there, and she's telling me this. Meanwhile, she's hanging out with this guy named Alex.
No.
Who's just, the guy's he's 6'2",
Boo.
chiseled jaw,
Boo.
and like him and Janina have been friends in this little town for many years.
Alex is German.
Alex is German. And so like she
Boo.
breaks up with me a week into the trip, and I'm like, bitch, I'm staying with you.
Oh.
And you're out with this dude.
No.
And I got Robbie, and Robbie's like, let's just go out and get drunk, dude. Like, what else can you do?
You got some simp fried rice in Germany, dude.
Bro, I can't, like... Like, and I was like, if that's how you felt, why didn't you tell me this? I spent so much money on this trip. I would have rather you been like, sorry, fuck you, don't even fly out. But I flew out. So the first week, I'm like, I can't stay here with you. And so that night, me and my friend Robbie, we go out, we go to the guy. You can buy alcohol at 18. That's how old we are. So I go buy a fucking 6-pack of Bacardi colas because they mix the Bacardi and the cola and put it in the bottle for you. It looks like a Coca-Cola bottle, but it says Bacardi on it. So I pick up a 6-pack of those, and I'm fucking just getting smashed. And I meet this Turkish dude named Ufak.
Fuck.
Yeah, his name was Ufak. And he's like, hey, because he knew we were Americans. And I'm like, I'm trying to find some fucking weed. Okay, I want to smoke some fucking weed in Germany. And he's like, I got you. He's like, I'm used to selling to all the American soldiers out here. So let's smoke some fucking weed. I smoked this weed, not knowing you put hash in it, right? And I'm like 19. I'm already like 4 Bacardi and colas deep. And we go to the fucking train station, and we're drunk, and this bullet train is going by at like 200 miles an hour. I'm just like, yeah, this is fucking tight. Bad idea, but it was still fun, you know? So, and then it was after I met Ufuk, that he was like, let's just drive to Norway or any neighboring country for the day. And so that's what I ended up doing, just driving around.
So you got in a car with Ufa?
Yeah, not that night. Just
Ufak?
Ufuk.
Ufak.
It's definitely, it's, yeah. And he's like, I
Ufak.
know how it sounds. After he's like, my name's Ufuk. Yes, I know. And I'm like, okay.
So you guys went to Norway?
Yeah, we flew around because when you're in Germany, like flying in between countries is like, it's cheap.
Yeah, same thing as Southeast
Like
Asia.
you can spend like $50
Yeah.
and then fly to this country,
Yeah, it's
stay the
pretty-
night,
It's pretty dope.
and everything there is like $2 and
Yeah.
then fly back. So that's what I did.
Nice. So then after this European escapade, you come back to the States.
It's my life.
Sorry.
And he got his heart broken for the first time.
It's like,
Fuck Germany, man.
yeah, the Germans. So I come back, and
Sorry, we're cold blooded here.
I
on
know.
what are you saying?
yeah. I don't.
Also,
it's a little barbed.
I'm half German, so.
Yeah.
That's why you terrify me. You're gonna break my heart.
All right. So you come back to the States
Uh-huh.
and back to the Pops.
Back to Pops. I started working random jobs, living with random ass people, trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
What are you, like 20 now?
Me?
at the time this is
Oh
going on.
yeah, this is around 2021.
It's a
and
hard
this-
it's a hard age, man. I was doing the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
And then like I fall into this group of club promoters called the Party Boys.
Oh gosh.
All
God damn
right,
it.
we are
And then
now
that's what-
we're now gonna segment to the Party Boys part of your life. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Chapter-
Let's,
like, bro, the
Chapter
Party Boys
Party
have
Boys.
like
we did
So-
we did the origin story, beginning of birth, now to the Party Boys. So how did you meet the Party Boys? First, who like is there 1, 2, 5?
I was at a club that I didn't know the Party Boys were running, and I see this one chick who looks like Yanina.
Did she come back?
No, her name was Shayna.
Okay.
So
Not-
I find this woman.
Not
and-
German?
Not German. We hook up.
That night?
Yeah, one of the first nights I ever met her.
See, that's
Um,
a man's got game. I'm just saying. We know some people that waste their time at clubs and they don't get nothing.
yeah, but
no mention of names. You know?
so we were together for a little while, and she's my first baby mom.
Oh,
Yeah,
you had a baby that night.
yeah, I nutted in her.
Oh my god.
And because I wasn't savvy with the whole like
Protection?
yeah. No. It was just one of those nights where I was drunk and
You shot up the club.
Shot up the club,
Oh.
and then I'm thinking like, oh well, you know, we're obviously not gonna keep the baby. Nope, she kept it,
She
and,
wanted-
which is great. I love my kids,
Where-
but she has absolutely ruined my life.
but where's the baby now?
He's in Texas.
Okay, and she's in
Yeah,
Texas.
she's in
Hopefully,
Texas.
she's also in Texas.
Yeah, I don't know where she. Yeah, she's
Oh,
in Texas.
Okay.
So, met her. Obviously, we had the kid. Got separated.
You were 19.
I was 21
You're 21. Okay.
when this happened, and then ever since then, it's been a back and forth of custody and who's wrong and who's right. It's standard baby mama drama.
He's got to be 16 now.
Yeah, he's about 16. Yeah.
Oh.
So after that, like, you know, I go through the ups and downs of trying to take care of the kid, trying to find out who I am and what I want to do with my life, but also trying to like maintain my family legacy as well with my dad and my family, because there's this whole thing where like Larry's got to do this, we're the best, you gotta, you know, and it was so rigid. There was no room for the individual. You know, I'm all for the family, baby, but not if I'm as an individual is forgotten. You know, so
So you're trying to stay with the tradition,
yeah.
but you're having some conflict.
Yeah. So, and then I realize after years and years of trying to juggle all of those things, where have I gotten? You know, what have I been doing where I'm not happy with who I am or where I'm at? You know, have I been appeasing somebody? Is there a part of me that's missing? What am I not doing to feel fulfilled and make me passionate about doing something in my life? Because like I said, I was taking the fire department test and I was going to pass it, but I stopped halfway through the test and I was like,
It's not for me.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing it? Do I want to be a fireman? Kind of.
So did you want to do it so you can have a stable job, take care of the kids,
Yeah.
and be a normie?
Yeah.
And come
But-
home, watch Disney Plus,
Disney
Hulu,
Plus, C-SPAN.
right?
I mean, there was no Disney Plus yet.
Yeah, but that was the trajectory, right?
Yeah,
come
and-
home,
and
have
then-
drink a cold one,
And
you
like
know,
I,
watch
that
watch
whole
the game.
repetition, it was just too monotonous for me.
That's my family.
Like, because I was, like I said, I was a theater kid. I did
Yeah.
ballet. I was doing this. I'm used to like the whole
Oh,
9 to
performer.
5. Yeah, I'm a performer by nature. So this whole 9 to 5 job with the fire department, this whole routine, I went insane every time I had a 9 to 5 job. The longest I've ever held a 9 to 5 job was, I mean, max on average is about 8 months before I'm like,
I'm good.
I'm good. I need to either take a break from this 9 to 5 or find a new 9 to 5.
Me and Chloe literally had the same conversation last night.
Yeah.
We were having food about how if that's all it is and you don't have this creative outlet, now that we all do stand up,
Yeah.
you go cuckoo.
Like, yeah. Like, and
Because
I
it's
can
so
feel it.
painfully normal.
Thank you. Thank you for saying it like that. It is.
There's
And
like this
like,
is it?
I remember too, my dad, like, because before I did comedy, and once, you know, my dad was like, he might not be a firefighter. my dad was like, well, there's good jobs at the post office. And I'm like, are you out of what the
Yeah.
fuck? And like my cousin Dwayne does the post office. He's been doing it for 33 years. Dwayne's a good dude, but he's also
Does he talk like that?
yeah, sometimes. My cousin Dwayne, I love Dwayne, but him and I are complete opposite personalities. He's like a brother to me, my cousin. But like he's like, how do you do that? How do you just walk up and yell something and that's just it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just it's part of the Larry gene pool, I guess.
Okay.
So
So we're in the 20s right now, your
Yeah.
age, still trying to find purpose and meaning, but taking
Yeah.
care of the kid.
taking care of the kid via child support, trying to battle and do custody issues.
Where is it Shayna? Is that her
Yeah.
name? Where is she in the picture?
She is
what-
living with her parents or
in
out,
Seattle?
moving around. She moved to like 5 different states.
Okay. And then of course, not to give it away, but then you have a second child, right?
Yeah, after a while, after all that, I meet Crystal,
Which is your current lady.
current lady.
How did y'all meet?
I was at Dante's before it burned down. This
Central
was-
District?
Yeah, no, U District. Right there. It's like next door to Labs. Used to be right next door to Labs.
I know what you're talking
And I remember going out with some friends, and my buddy Evan was there, and he's like, yo, let's go to Dante's. I'm like, yo, where the bitches at, yo?
about. Hey, women.
Come on, it was past Keon said that.
Sex
Present day
worker.
Keon
I prefer the
says
term sex worker.
sex
Thank you.
workers. So I go to this club, and I'm rowdy. I'm wild. I don't give a shit. I'm 20 something, man. I'm king of whatever the fuck I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm at this fucking place, and I'm just like drunk as fuck. And I see Crystal, right? And I'm like, I just walk up to her, and I'm like, yo, what's up, girl? When do I get to try those lips out?
Oh my god!
say that.
I did. So I meet her. I say, yo, when do I get to try those lips out? And she smiles, and I leaned in and kissed her, and we went home that night.
See?
Shot up the
And
club?
Shot up the club.
What?
Shot up the club.
Keon.
You didn't learn.
No.
But you have a beautiful son, though.
Oh yeah, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Cutie
Great
pie.
kid.
But for anyone and for anyone
like, so
listening,
check this.
strap it up. I'm just saying this is just
It's only 2 times that's happened.
yeah, this is just a PDA from Waze. We like to, safe,
A PSA. And you strap it up?
Yeah.
Who says that?
I do.
Strap it up? Strap on?
yeah, like a gun. Carry the strap.
Oh.
Jesus
I,
Christ.
I never heard.
Strap
Jesus
it up.
Christ, Chloe.
Wrap it up, I've heard.
No, this
Strap
is
it up.
Waze is pretty gangster over here, so we strap it. All right, back. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Back to
No,
story.
no, no
Sorry.
worries. I'm just trying to like remember where I left off.
No, you guys kiss, went back home.
Went back, and then to her place where she lived with her dad. And I just I stayed the night,
Mhm.
and then I just never left.
Wha-
I don't think I've met your woman. Is she black?
No.
She's white.
No, yeah. White is the paint on these walls.
Okay. So when you wake up and go get coffee, you're like, "Hey, pops!" Like, how did that?
So
Keon's so funny.
I'm laying down pipe. Okay. They call me the plumber because I'm laying pipe. Hard, bro, hard. And like, luckily her dad's room's like across the house. But so the next morning I kind of get up and she's like, so let's get out of here. What are we going to do for the day? And I'm kind of like, I was like, is your dad home? And she's like, yeah, my dad and my brother are on the couch right now.
Oh my god.
And like, you got to walk past him to get out of the house. I'm thinking
Don't
like,
wake
and I'm like, she's
Daddy.
like, why don't you just come say what's up? And I'm like, no, where's the window? I'm asking her where I'm going to call
Oh
out the fucking
my-
window. I tell her I'm going to
no,
call
no,
out the
no,
window.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. And cause
Oh,
I don't know her.
no.
I don't know her dad. I don't know her dad at this time. So I'm freaking out. Like, I'm looking at the window and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go out there and see your brother and your dad after I just fucked your brains out.
Walk of shame.
Bro, I was scared.
Oh.
I was scared. So I get up. I'm getting ready to throw hands with an old man.
Yeah, because he might
He might.
bring out the strap.
He might bring out the strap. I walk out there and he's like, hey, good morning. And I'm like, hey. And it's like, I'm Miles. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, I'm Keon. Her brother's like, hey, I'm Alex. I'm like, I'm Keon. And that was it.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I like lived with her. We've never not lived together.
Mm.
We started out living together.
Good
And I was
rela-
living at her dad's house with her for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Good relationship with the dad.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Old man Miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the brother, y'all good?
Yeah, we're good now. I mean, he has the high school bully attitude.
Mm.
She has 2 brothers, one named Alex, one named Theo. Alex is the high school popular jock. Theo's the creative artist guy. So 2 completely opposite brothers. And I get along with both of them. You know, I know who they are, and like, I don't mind them. They're good
Okay.
people.
All right. So we are on to the second baby's mom right
Second
now.
baby's mom.
That's where we're at the phase.
Yep.
Oh, let's get back to the party boys.
Oh, okay.
So let's go back to
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you met
I
know-
met.
Boys.
Yeah. I
what
met.
is the name? I'm sorry. What is your lady's name?
Which one?
Your lady right now. Your current
Crystal.
lady.
Because you said party boys, I
Yeah.
thought he was talking about.
So you meet Crystal.
I thought he was talking about the Shayna.
I don't. How did the party boys come in across this? Because you met
Party
Crystal.
boys ended pretty quickly after Shayna and I hooked up. Just because it was a bunch of dudes who were just like renting out spaces and just calling it their party when it was already a bar or a club. So, and they
Oh,
made it seem
okay.
like, yo, if you want to join the ranks and start. And don't get me wrong, it did lead to other things when I started doing like paid acting and commercials, but
Mhm.
like, it was kind of just
How long was the stint with the party boys?
like a year.
Okay.
It was a very.
What kind of commercials you do? Any embarrassing stuff?
I did a T-Mobile commercial, couple Redfin commercials,
Oh.
random stuff around Seattle for
Okay.
like
pretty
meeting
cool.
spaces. Yeah, I had an agency through Seattle Talent. And I had an agent who was
Cool.
Are you still acting?
No.
Why not?
acting requires a level of subtlety mixed in with the bombastic that I haven't quite yet mastered or want to, because when
Mm.
I'm on camera, like I move around a lot. You've seen me. I move around.
Mhm.
I talk with my hands.
Energetic.
Yeah, I'm very energetic. When you're on camera, they don't like
Yeah.
to follow you around like that. They're like, just stand on the X and turn your head and
Oh.
make subtle things, but still be that loud part. And I didn't like to separate those two things.
Yeah.
So that's why, like modeling, I can't sit there and be like, raise one eyebrow, and that means I'm this.
Mm.
I'm not good at that stuff. So that's why I got out of acting and modeling.
All right. So Party Boys segment is done.
Yep.
We're
That's
now-
been done. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're now, I'm saying timeline, maybe late 20s.
Late 20s.
Okay. We got late 20s and you're staying with Crystal.
Crystal, her and I have an apartment in
Okay. We're in North End. I'm
Yeah, where we're
assuming.
staying, yeah.
And then what are you doing now for work? Well, I mean, at that time.
This is probably around when COVID started, I think. No. Wait.
Wait.
No.
No, we're not there yet. I'm not doing anything. I am living with Crystal. I'm working.
How are the bills getting paid?
I mean, I'm working. God, I've had
You said
so
you
many,
weren't doing anything.
like not anything important. Like we're over here, we're raising our kid.
You just had a basic 9 to 5 is what you're
Just
saying.
a basic ass 9 to 5.
Painfully normal.
Oh
life.
no, I was giving tours. That's what I was doing. I started giving tours at the Underground back in the day. Yeah, and then I stopped doing that after my dad passed.
How did you get? Because you're still giving tours. How did you get into this?
I was working for Children International for a while. Got out of that, and I was just in downtown Pioneer Square a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw these tour guides giving tours, and I'm like, I think I can do that. That seems easy enough. And so I applied to it because it'd been like a year since I had had a job. So
What year is this? Do you think it is?
I would say 2004, 2008, 2009.
Okay.
It really does seem like the perfect job for you.
Yeah, it's a really fun job, and just because I've been living in Seattle most of my life,
You know it.
and I know it,
Yeah.
and it's like I get stage time. I get a
Mhm.
microphone. I get 15 minutes before every tour to just give them the basics,
Awesome.
tell some jokes, do some crowd work, and then I take them underground, and I like to give them a comedic tour. Like there's some guides, because every guide does something different.
Mhm.
Like there's the guide who's like, I like to stick very strictly to the facts. And I'm like, great, let's bore these people to
Yeah,
fucking death. This person's on
boring.
vacation and you want to give them a lecture about Seattle? No. I'm going to give it little digestible, funny bites. Like, here's the
Yeah.
Great Seattle Fire. Accidental or maybe not. You know, I like to do shit like that. So at the end of the tour, you know how Seattle got here, but you're not like trying or struggling to remember.
Okay. So you get this job during the tours, which you're still doing,
Yeah.
And then let's talk about comedy.
Let's do it.
So then you, how did you get into stand-up comedy? Because that's how we met.
Yeah. So at this point, I was working at Sean Kemp's Cannabis, and
The one in Belltown on First?
yeah, I started with them. They're awesome shop. Go to Sean Kemp's Cannabis. Great deals. Shout out to Sean Kemp's Cannabis. I love you guys. Okay,
Please sponsor us.
please sponsor us.
Give Keon a discount too.
I was at a party, a rooftop party that I got randomly invited to. And this is after I took a class for stand-up comedy.
Peter Gray?
Peter Gray's, and it was right before COVID had started. And so my first show was October 18th, right, the year that COVID started or whatever.
2019 before?
Yeah,
Or
something.
2020.
2020 something. I took it right before COVID started, and I had my first show, the graduation show that they do, right before COVID started.
Oh,
And so I do this, and then lockdowns happened pretty
Yeah.
shortly after that.
No open mics.
No open
Yeah,
mics,
the
no
world-
nothing.
The world shuts
So
down.
the world shuts down. I'm still working at Sean Kemp's Cannabis, trying to just,
Yeah.
there's nothing else to do. There's no clubs, there's no bar.
Nothing.
Like, I'm working at a weed shop. And then once things start to lighten up, I go to this rooftop party, and I'm just like working the room, baby. I'm like making people laugh, hitting on broads and stuff.
So,
And then,
women.
stop.
sex workers.
Stop the sex
Hitting
worker.
on sex workers.
So
the year is 2021? 2021, I'm
I
assuming?
believe so, yeah.
Because that's when things actually
Yeah.
started reopening.
Yeah.
and
It was
People were
around
actually allowed.
2021, yeah. And so I'm at this party, and I see this tall, lanky, smug white dude.
Mhm.
His name was Reese Green.
Shout out to Reese Green.
Shout out to Reese Green.
That's the homie.
That guy.
Hello, Reese.
Yo, he just opened up for Chris Kattan.
we back. We back.
Do I just keep going?
So you mean just say you talk about me?
Yeah. So I see this tall, lanky dude, fucking Reese Green, right? And I'm like, "What's up, dude?" And I said, "He's like, bro, like." I was like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I do stand-up comedy." I'm like, "Wait, you're a stand-up comedian? No way!" I was just thrown back by that. He's like, "Man, we'd love to have you like judging by your energy and how you're working in this room. You should host one of my comedy shows sometime." And I'm like, "Bro, I would fucking love to do that." He's like, "Well, let's link up sometime. We'll go to a show." I'm like, "Cool." We link up. I go over to his house and we're just smoking a joint. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go hit up Tony V's." And I'm like, "Cool, man. I can't wait to watch you." He goes, "Oh no, you're going up." And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head like, I don't have any material. He's like, nobody goes to an open mic just to watch it. Like that would be absolutely terrible. And I said, okay. So we drive up there, and that's the first time I meet Femi. I see Femi there, and he looks like a terrorist. So like, bro, like. No. Bro, like, so I walk into Tony. It was just the lighting. It was the lighting. I walk in there. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. Is terrorist a bad word though?
Well, why did he look like a terrorist?
Bro, okay, because one, I can see all the comics sitting talking to each other. And then he's sitting in a completely separate booth, just like
Yeah, he'd be doing that.
scanning the room. Okay, he's scanning the room. And so I sit near him, not next to him, near him. I'm like, "What's up, man?" I'm Keon. He goes, "Femi." I'm like, "You going up?" He's like, "Yeah." And that was it. That was my first interaction with Femi. And I was like, this guy, I'm never talking to this guy again. Femi, shout out to Femi, he's the guy.
Shout out to Femi. He's
We're all in the
hilarious.
showcase together next month too, 21st.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be tight. I love Femi. All right.
You're
so,
at Tony V's.
I'm at Tony V's. I don't have any jokes.
Oh,
So I get up on stage and I'm like, 3 minutes? Oh, fuck. I got to do 3 minutes? And I'm panicking over 3 minutes. You remember how much, do you remember when you first started and you were like, wait, 3 whole minutes?
yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, come on, hurry up. Can I get more than that? So I go up there and I tell this story about how I sold lube to a brother and sister at a weed shop.
Okay. And it kills.
And it killed. And I'm like, oh my God, I might be able to do this. And then after
Yeah.
that, like, I hang out with the Parlor Trick boys for a little bit. And then I'm trying to map out the comedy scene at that point in time here in Seattle. So
What's so funny?
what are you cackling for?
Yeah.
Because mapping out the comedy scene in Seattle,
Yeah, back in the, I didn't know what to do.
it's
It's a near impossible.
it's treacherous.
It's
Yeah.
worse now
Oh yeah.
because the list is not updated. Because there used to be an actual list.
I have the list.
Not
The
if,
one that Hans Cisneros
no,
gave?
no, 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 no. If you're an out of towner, you don't know Hans. You're not gonna get
Mhm.
that list. Is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like if like I have
Outsider.
multiple out of towners come through. Like, hey, I'm gonna go to A1 Hop Shop, and I'm like, that's been closed for like over 2 years.
Spirit has said, have
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Have
You know what I
fun.
mean, so like a lot of because people use Bad Slava, and that's
What is that?
it's a generic open mic website that tells you all these cities, but a lot of people use that.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
but
was gonna
so
say a
people
different
go,
word.
but it's not updated, and locals like us just don't give a shit, so we don't
Yeah.
really care either.
Yeah.
Like I know the mics I go to, and that's it. I don't
Yeah.
even tell people.
No, yeah.
I'm
and
going
there's
to a mu- I
there's
go to
mic
music-
every night of the week, too.
Yeah.
So, like, if you just know where that one is, then, you know, you're good. But back in the beginning, man, I was like Town Pub and Jai Thai.
Yep.
That's the only places I knew. And there was club comedy, but I was like, oh, I can't get to a real club. I'm not ready for that,
Yeah.
you know? And then I was like, I'm not driving down to Tacoma, you know? So started off comedy doing like that. And then the comedy scene is way different now. I miss the Jai Thai days.
Everybody does.
Bro, like the Jai Thai days were so magical for the comedy scene in Seattle because everybody went there
Mm-hmm.
every weekend. There was no cliques. There was no
Yeah.
drama. Every comedian killed there. The crowd was
Yeah.
so
Oh.
hot every single time.
yeah.
Like, and I just miss that because now I feel like everything's kind of
It's
spread out
it's
a little
so
bit more.
clicky.
Yeah, and that's fine. I get it. Like, we're supposed to grow. Are you friends with people that you were childhood friends with still? No, it's a growing process.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm done navigating the scene based off of my relationships with other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
I need to navigate
Yeah.
my comedy scene, what I think is going to be best for my comedy career,
Mm-hmm.
off of things that I need. You know,
what
like
do you need?
more stage time, more bookings.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to get out of bar comedy, man. Like, I
Yeah.
love performing, so I will perform anywhere. But I notice that when I'm doing comedy at a bar, it's
Terrible.
not terrible because I love what I do. There's no bad days when I do comedy, but it loses some of its gravitas, some of its specialness to me.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like being on stage, having that spotlight on there. People who are in this building came to see you do this, not like try and bark at people to listen to you
Mhm.
practice your jokes or do a set.
Yeah.
There's just no magic in bar comedy. Like,
Even if you are booked for it.
even if I'm booked for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
like there's just not, I wouldn't say no magic, there's less magic. The
Yeah.
stage, my friends, the lights, the
Yeah.
microphone.
Mhm.
If I'm talking through a shitty mic on a portable speaker in the back of a bar with half of their backs turned,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
like,
why.
I mean, if and like here's the thing, like sometimes I love pulling people turn around like that was actually funny. I'm gonna come and listen now,
Mhm.
but that's not the business of comedy. That's not how comedy businesses are run.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, like, laughs,
Yeah.
club comedy, those are legit clubs.
yeah,
People pay to go see
yes,
and they
Mhm.
shut the fuck up,
yeah,
Mhm.
At these bars, they don't it's a like they're
it's a
you're
free for all.
you're intruding on their time because
Yeah.
they just got off of their 9 to 5 and
Yeah.
they're trying to have a beer and talk about the Seahawks,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
then they're like, we don't care about this. So
yeah,
you have to like fight for that attention, and it's
Exactly.
really annoying. And we all have been doing it for the beginning, but
Yeah.
I think everybody's just evolved to like, I got time.
yeah.
Give me bookings, right?
That's what it is, and that's why I say I want to stop navigating the scene based off of relationships. The
Mhm.
only merit in the comedy scene is who's funniest. Like, if you can be funny, that should be the only requirement.
But
It
it's
should be.
not.
But it's not.
Yeah, that's
You
what.
had to be funny, and
Literally, we were just talking about this last night.
so yeah, and so
Getting
and-
put on the shows in Seattle doesn't represent how funny you are. It represents who you're
Who-
friends with.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because I see the same people on the same shows or the same
Yeah.
clubs.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, so if I go there, then maybe I can get booked. But,
As we know,
you know,
it's
and
not.
here's the
That's
deal.
not the case.
The comedians that do get booked, those are talented people.
Yeah.
They deserve what they got there at that club. Regular time at a club is what every comedian wants.
yeah.
But, like,
Where's the love? For,
where's the love, man?
Yeah.
Like,
No, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
and
and I'm not putting any particular club
Yeah.
on because, like, I still get booked. Comedy Bar loves me. I'm really trying to navigate the scene. Like, what's gonna get me booked more? What's gonna get my face on a flyer? What's gonna get me out there so more people can see my comedy?
Question: You don't do Tacoma?
I do Tacoma. I do Nate's. I haven't been to Tacoma.
No, Tacoma Comedy Club.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
I
do
haven't
that?
been there.
No.
No, I usually do Nate's.
Oh, okay.
Nate's books me. Nate's is tight.
Okay.
But I mean, it's also the scheduling too. Like driving 50 to 60
No,
minutes.
It's
because I like to be surgical with my time. I want to try and cover as much ground as possible
for 4 minutes.
for 4 minutes. Yeah.
Ugh,
So I'm
yeah.
like, can I get 4 minutes closer than that? Yeah.
Like I do the drive, but I have the luxury of working from home where I can just leave and make sure I'm on there on time.
Yeah.
But I'm hosting at the end of the month at the
Oh, yeah?
downtown location.
I want to get down there. I'm going to be there. I'll
Pull
be
through?
there. I'm going to pull
Yeah.
up.
So
Be
that's
tight.
gonna be cool. And it's both locations are awesome. I mean, Chloe just
Yeah.
started going there and it's really good.
Yeah, it's fun. Like the audience is ready to laugh. Yeah.
That's what I need.
Because
That's what I
the 6 and Proctor one is smaller. but
Yeah.
It's more intimate, but the audience is just like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they will laugh at anything. Like it's that easy to get laughs.
See, boom.
So
That's what I'm saying. You don't get that at a bar. You don't get that at a bar.
Mhm.
you gotta
So.
fight.
Okay, bar shows just starting out are very important, I think, though, because it taught me like project, like try to get people's attention. Like it got me to be like extreme, you know, like early on.
You've always
It's
been
important.
kind of an extremist, though. You'll go up there. Like, you have to be so brave, Chloe, to go up there and say and do the things that you do. Because I'm like, you've had some good shows.
oh wait, I
and then
gotta
you've
tell
had
you
some
about
shows.
last night.
Oh yeah. I took her- I took her. There is a monthly.
Sorry.
So there's a monthly POC, people of color, kind of mix my
I fucking
This is
hate
why you
that
can't
term.
have nice things.
what?
POC? I
Yeah.
wasn't at the meeting where they decided to change black to POC.
No,
Y'all
no,
can call me black.
POC is everybody though.
Mm.
Asians,
Nobody.
was Native
nuh-uh,
American
Ain't
person
nobody
there?
calling you a person of color.
No, I've been called
No.
POC.
Nope.
He's
You
also
are
been
not.
called
You're just
Mulan.
Asian. You're just Asian.
He's been called Mulan
They
recently.
they group.
They no. I've only
Anyways.
heard of POC used for black people.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
You're like, I don't care.
Okay, well,
All right, let me-
what does the website say? It's like safe. It's like a safe space for
Yeah.
people of color,
Exactly.
LGBTQ.
Anyway, we
Right.
go to this
All right.
mix. We go to this mix mic, and it's predominantly black people.
Tight.
And it's $7 to get in and perform. Right?
Yeah.
And it was lit.
They ran out of seats, so now
Lit.
it's standing room only. So it is packed.
It was awesome.
And it is so easy to if you are a comic, like you would murder.
Dude,
That's
yeah,
it was
you
that
would
good.
murder.
But it's once a month, right? And then Chloe goes up, and I'm gonna let Chloe finish the rest of the story. Mind you, the host is a comic, and after Chloe said, he roasted this woman, but it was good. It was all fun.
Oh my God. Where's this at?
It's in downtown on 4th Avenue. I'm gonna hit you up next time.
Hit me up. I want to go to this.
I personally thought it was great. It's
You
packed.
thought, Chloe, how do you feel about it?
Oh my gosh, I love it,
Okay.
dude.
People
it's,
are
wait, is
rapping.
it called a
called
space inside?
It's called It's either Space Inside.
Wait.
So
Okay,
it's
your
a-
homework is still a place inside, a space inside.
Space Inside.
Okay, but I'm like the poster child for this is why we can't have nice things, because I'm the white girl that shows up, right? It's like a safe space for black people, and I told myself when I sat down, because
Jesus
the first person to perform said, "White people, go back to Europe." He said it, and he had a crop top, and I was staring at his belly button when he said it. Back to me. Okay, so, yeah, the Native American person said, "White people, go back to Africa, or go back to Europe." So in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I've heard that before in Oakland, you know? Like I'm used to people saying that in Oakland. People said that all the time, angrily." And so in my head, I'm like, "Okay, don't do that joke, and then don't do the other joke." So I was like, "Don't do those just two jokes that you can't. Just don't do it here." Like I told myself this in my head, like probably like throughout the whole thing, right? but I've been telling those jokes consistently. Like it's in the
Oh,
Rolodex,
shit.
you know.
This is gonna be bad.
So I get up there, and then I did really well at opening.
She was murdering.
Like this crowd was like this is the most fun I've ever had. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, she was killing in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, so I won over their trust for a short amount of time, and then I like kind of like blanked a little bit because I wanted to do a new joke after it, the beginning jokes, and I blank a little bit, and I go right into the joke I've been doing, and it has like some gun violence where I go, oh, poof, 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 and then the whole room goes quiet.
Yeah, you can feel like it.
Jesus Christ.
I've never felt a room just turn in in a split second, like like groaning.
The groans.
Yeah.
I went back and watched it. The groans are
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's so funny though. The groans are so.
Yeah, it was like the Titanic sinking. Like she did that fast. Like she was on a good sweet and then just tanked.
Yikes.
Oh, but the host roasted me so
Yes.
badly.
He
after
brought-
he
yeah, he-
made like my face was red,
Yeah.
but I was laughing because
Yeah.
he was so funny. The host was like, but I did the Native American joke too, and I wasn't supposed to do that one.
Yeah.
Are you going
Yeah.
back to that? Are you banned
Dude,
from that?
so-
Are
Yeah, listen
you-
to this. Yeah.
Okay.
So we decided to leave because
Yeah.
and we were done. Like
Well, because I didn't. Dude,
we were.
no.
Are you sure?
No, I didn't want to leave because then it looks like, oh, the white girl got scared off.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to stay for the woman that was going to read her beautiful poetry, but Verideath be like, we on a schedule. We gotta
I-
go."
Surrounded.
I don't really care for spoken word poetry. I really can't sit through it, you know. So I was like, I'm out. You know, we did our time. We paid our entry fee. We supported, but we're gonna go grab some food. And then we leave, and right when we're outside, the host comes up to us. He's like, "I need to talk to you too."
Dude, I thought I was.
Get out.
I would thought he was going to say,
Yeah.
please don't come back to
Yeah.
us. This is a safe space for us.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
Instead, he said, "You two were amazing. I loved your
Aw.
performance. Chloe, don't do those jokes again." He said, "I'm thinking about doing a comedy show here. Please, bring your friends and whatnot. But please," it's like, "please come back. You guys are awesome."
Okay, you guys made that seem like they jumped you in an alley
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
I know.
No, because his tone was like, and he ran out.
Yeah,
after
he like
us.
ran, as we were leaving, like.
And like I jumped to the worst case scenario, so I'm like, oh, like I ruined it for myself. Like the best crowd I've ever seen yet. Like that was the best crowd.
Yeah, you're
best
getting
audience.
big laughs too.
Dude, the audience was so fun,
Yeah.
and I was like, I ruined it. I was like, why do I always do this? I ruin everything.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you guys were hilarious. Please
Yeah.
come back. Bring your friend.
But next month,
Dude,
road
Yeah.
through.
you should
You know what I
come.
I'm going to that.
Dude, that was the energy. It's like you'll love
That's
it.
what I love. I love the energy.
So good.
You know,
And it's our people. POC.
our people.
POC.
Oh man. This is why. You know what I'm saying? This is why I hate it.
I am not a part of
Like,
POC.
No.
I'm not a part
I
It's
of
our
am-
people, Keon. People of
I'm-
color.
I'm brown, man, so I'm a person of color.
You are brown. That is true.
I'm Mulan.
You
Princess Warrior.
also too, like I've seen a lot of the same styles of comedy.
Mm,
Like everybody is unique.
yeah.
Everybody has a perspective. Everybody writes jokes on that perspective. But the whole melancholy, I'm socially awkward bit,
Yeah.
Oh, like a Seattle
Is-
style.
like a Seattle,
Actually,
like,
that is Seattle.
you know, I'm not good at anything. So I'm,
Yeah.
there's a lot of that in Seattle.
It's true.
And like I'm saying this from a perspective where like I am open to criticism for improving myself, but like if you're able to get up on stage for years at a time doing comedy, you're no longer that socially awkward person,
Yeah.
and if it's part of your bit, fine. But like there's too many comics that stick to that whole socially awkward part. I'm like, I don't think, like that's just
Do you
overused,
think
I
if-
think.
Do you think if somebody, because I know people start off feeling very uncomfortable on
Yeah.
stage. Do you think as they evolve and become more confident, their jokes and comedy should evolve with who they are now, right?
Yes. But also, too, I'm a firm believer, if it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's true.
But after a while, I'm like, my brain just shuts down when
Mm.
comics get up on stage and they
interesting.
start by telling you their sexuality, their gender, and then go into
Yeah.
melancholy, awkward social stuff.
Yeah.
To me, where was the joke?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, a joke has a structure, a premise. You
Mhm.
take me for a verbal journey, and at the end of it, I get to laugh.
What is your approach now to break out of that? Like, because as we talk about being burnt out from the scene, we need like
The remedy for that, man, I can't speak for other comics. That's just what their style is. I'm just noticing a lot more of it. For me, so I don't go crazy, is I spread out the amount of time that I'm going to these open mics. Just because when I get burnt out, like, I'll be burnt out for longer than I want. So I'd rather spread it out so I don't get overwhelmed. And also, I don't want it to become that 9 to 5 feeling,
Mhm.
That's what I felt.
Because, like, I'm like, yo, I get off my day job giving tours and talking. I'm like, and then I got to go home and then turn around in 45 minutes and then drive 45 minutes to Tacoma for 4 minutes to people,
And hang out with people.
And then hang out. And then, like, if you don't hang out with the comics, then you don't get booked on shit that
Yeah,
they're
that's
doing.
true.
Exactly.
So, like, you have to kind of, like, hang out with these people if you want to get booked. And even then, it's hit or miss.
Exactly.
So, and I'm just trying to put myself in a position as a comic to be noticed more, because I notice certain comics are just above all that. Adam Tiller, great comic.
Yeah.
That guy gets booked all the freaking time,
Yeah.
and he doesn't hang out with anybody.
I feel like
You
he
know?
does hang out with people like
Who?
Quinn.
I mean, Quinn, yeah,
He's got a crew.
but also Quinn, he's above that too. He gets booked, and him and Quinn do stuff together.
Yeah.
But like Luke Severine, another great comic.
Mhm.
I don't see him hanging around too many scenes. Like, he'll show up, do the job, and dip.
Yeah.
And that's the place I want to be. Where, like, I get hired to be somewhere, I go there, I do my job. The whole, like, be part of our crew kind of thing, if you want work,
It's high school.
I don't like that.
It's very
so.
high schoolish.
And good for them. If you have a show with your butts, like Adam Sandler and his crew, good
Yeah.
for you, but that's not what it's going to be like for everybody else.
No.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the strategy now. So
Yeah.
you have like a good 10-minute, 15-minute tape you're sending out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have multiple tapes that I like to chop up. I don't like to send too much. Like, I send 5 to 10 minute clips, but also too, like, I need to get better at making sure I film more of my sets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes where I'm like, this crowd doesn't seem too hot, but I'll go out there and I crush
Oh,
it. Like,
dang.
fuck, I
and
wish
you
I would have
missed
filmed
it.
that.
Yeah.
That's hard.
But then, like, every time I do film it, I'm like, maybe it wasn't that good. So
Film every
it's
time.
yeah, I'm just gonna get in the habit of
Yeah.
filming everything. But I have a solid like 30 minutes, going on 40.
What is
Good.
your next gig?
December 19th. Actually, no, November 19th. Sorry, this month.
Okay, where at?
It's gonna be a Bad Bar Comedy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Jake's thing, right?
Jake Breslauer. Yeah.
Very nice.
And then after that, I'll be on the 22nd at Comedy Bar. I'll be doing the Pun Slam. The Pun Slams are fun.
Okay.
The Pun Slams are super fun. I didn't think I could write a pun joke.
They're pretty.
Wow.
Puns are pretty.
I told you about this.
Yeah, yeah.
I told you about this. And I still think that I was like,
Puns are fun.
yeah. Oh, God. Thank you.
I'm trying to ruin pun night. Pun slam. Because I ruined a safe place inside.
So, yeah, I got those 2 shows coming up. This podcast is going to help boost that, and I hope I
Yeah.
can boost you. I subscribed. Everybody subscribe to What Are You Saying podcast.
Yeah.
Be a good friend.
Yeah.
Be a
the
good
the
friend.
other people that haven't done it yet
Yeah.
that I'm not going to name.
All right. Back to the questions.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
Wait, did you put on your questions at the top? How are you doing? How was your weekend?
Of course.
He needs to remember those. Those are important.
It says, "How is everyone?" Hold eye contact.
No.
Are you serious?
No, he
Yeah.
actually wrote that last time. How was your weekend, everyone? Question mark.
Why the eye contact part?
I'm just fucking with you
I was like,
because I have autism.
you're on the spectrum.
Oh yeah,
Who diagnoses you?
I did.
Yes.
WebMD.
Have you ever shoplifted?
Yep. You paused for so long.
What was it?
First time I ever stole, I was 4 years old. 5. I remember there was a Safeway down the street from my house in Wallingford-ish. Yeah, Wallingford. Used to be a Safeway a couple blocks away, right? And I remember, okay, my dad was like, if you do this, you will get allowance. And I used my allowance specifically for the old school Disney Adventure comic books. Remember those little tiny ones that came out every couple of weeks? So one time I did my chores. I didn't get my allowance, and I was a little upset about that. So when going to the store with my dad next, I stole it, put it in my pants, walked out with that. And then I went home and I'm like reading it. My dad was like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Fucking Safeway." And he goes, "What? You stole this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, you didn't pay me, Pop." So then he takes me back to the Safeway.
Oh, it's good. Morals.
Morals
And
yes,
values.
all right, that's fine.
That's
he takes me
good.
back, and I return it, and he's like,
Yeah.
and they're like, "How much?" It was $4. The lady was like, "Keep it." My dad was like,
Oh.
"No." And I never got
Well,
it, and
That's a
was
good lesson to learn, though.
That was the first time I stole.
When was
So-
the last time you stole?
Jeez, I can't even remember. I don't need to steal anymore.
Was it
'Cause
someone's
you're
heart?
rich.
Yeah.
Did you steal someone's heart?
Always, always. I'm a
Yana.
dangerous thief of hearts.
Ayana, what was her name?
Yanina Boshara.
Yanina.
Yanina.
Oh, Yanina. Why you
Yanina
break my heart,
Boshara.
Yanina?
She broke it.
Yanina.
She was the first big break. Never been the same.
Have you ever walked out of a job?
Oh, fuck yeah. Multiple times. Hell fucking yes. That's like my
Like
favorite
you
thing
left
to
and
do.
then you were like, I'm
And
gonna
Oh, I
fire
showed
again.
up and I'm like, oh no, I'm done. Fuck this.
What was the most epic one? Like, what the craziest story you got for walking out of a job?
I used to work at the Lodge
Where's
Bar
that?
and Grill.
Where's that?
Downtown Seattle, up there on University Street.
Okay.
And servers
Suck.
they suck. And like the people who are good at serving and make all that money, they are so overzealous about serving and they love that crazy thing. And I'm like, yo, put the food on the tray, bring it over there and lay it on the table.
It's corny,
That's
dude.
it.
You know what I mean?
But then there are some people who are like, after you get off, do your side work. And I'm like, after I get off, I'm going home.
yeah.
There's no such thing as punch out, do a little bit of extra work to help out tomorrow.
After I get
and
off,
the
I fall
fact
asleep.
that I didn't abide by that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want me to clean forks while I'm on shift, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But when I'm clocked out and
Yeah.
so I had a lot of bad blood, but there was this one server who was like, hey man, he used to always check my work, be like, hey man, you didn't finish this the right way. And I'm like, hey, is it that big of a deal? He's like, yeah, it's a big deal. And then like we almost got into a fight. I'm like,
Yeah.
you need to fucking walk away, bro, because I'm not fixing the Coca-Cola thing again. All right, the little filter that puts,
Yeah.
I'm like, get somebody else to do that. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then I said, yo, like, if you come at me like that again at this job, I will frickin' throw hands, you know? And so it boiled over to the point where I was like, if I work with this dude, I'm never gonna pull up. And so one of my bosses, my friend was my boss, and he was like, I scheduled you around this guy, and I know that you guys have beef. You think you can hold it together for one more shift? And I'm like, sure. So I get there, and he says something snide to me. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I take out my checkbook, and the little folder, and I just poof right at this dude, take off my apron, and say, fuck this place, I'm out.
How old were you, Tom?
28, 29.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That was the most epic one?
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to like throw a trash can through a window, or I did get into a fight while giving a tour, but they didn't fire me for that, and I didn't quit. So,
Well, how intense was this fight?
I whooped this dude's ass in front of a group
Oh.
of 50 people in the streets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys got into a
Whoa.
fight.
A fight, yeah. I was leading a group of 50 people for a tour, and we were waiting at First Avenue right there. And I'm waiting to cross the street. We're not in the street. We're on the sidewalk. It's a nice sunny day out, and we're about to cross because it says go. And this one car kind of, burns the light and makes a turn. And I make a very soft joke. And I'm like, Seattle traffic, am I right? This dude slams on his brakes.
What?
He's like, what the fuck did you just say?
So he's in his car.
He's in his car, and he hears me say that as he's driving by.
What is First Avenue?
Yeah, right there on First Avenue in Yesler, First and Yesler.
Okay.
And he stops his car, and I see that. And he gets out and goes, what'd you say? And I try and ignore it. I'm like, come on, folks, let's just keep it going.
White guy?
White guy. And he's walking up, and I'm like, bro. And I see him
Wait,
approaching.
he gets out of his car?
He gets out of his car and follows my tour group. I got women, children, old people with me. This dude's pissed. Right?
How old is this dude?
He's 40, last little
Dude,
hours.
you didn't even say anything bad. I don't get
Yeah,
why.
I don't get it either. So he's storming through the group, and he's like pushing tourists around, trying to get through the group. And I see this, I'm like, sir, get back in your car. Like, I have to look out for my crowd. I'm like, get back in your car.
Yeah.
He's like, you think because you're out here, you can just fucking talk shit like that? And I'm like, sir, it was a joke. Get back in your car.
Wait, are you in costume at this point?
I'm in street clothes. Yeah, I'm at work.
Well, you don't have costumes for this
No.
job?
No.
He's dressed like a Snuggie. Like what is
What do
he?
you want me
Well,
to
because I
dress
saw
like?
a guy holding a lantern, and he looked like
Yeah,
he was
some
in like
tour
a,
companies down there dress the
they
part
dress.
of the 1800s.
I was
yeah.
hoping you were in that 1800s dress.
No, because that'd be in
Cowboy
tackle, that'd
hat?
be
Because
fucked up.
if he's like fighting someone with a lantern and then like a petticoat, a pea coat, petticoat, that'd be hilarious. Anyway,
Well,
Alright.
you can visualize that.
So you tell him to get back in his car.
Get back, and at this point,
He doesn't
he's
like
still
that.
approaching.
Oh, yeah,
He's
of
still
course.
approaching, and I'm like, "Am I gonna have to fight this?" Because he's like, "I'll fuck you up right here," and I'm like, "Bro, please get back in
Bro.
your car." So he gets within range.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "He's not gonna stop." I have a water bottle in my hand, and from like point blank, I throw that thing
Yeah.
as hard as I can into this dude's face.
Yeah.
Before that thing even hits his face, I'm running at him. And as soon as it hits and it drops, I go 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, just boom, boom, boom. And he just legs buckle. He hits
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
dang.
He's like, did you just fucking hit me?
Mhm.
And I'm like, bro, you were attacking this crowd. I got 50 witnesses
Yeah.
here. And they were like, yeah, you did. And he's like, I'm calling the cops.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And I look at my tour group and I'm like, y'all want to finish this tour or what?
Oh, and
Everybody
that's why you're
starts-
the best tour guide, dude. Best
Everybody-
tour.
Everybody starts fucking cheering, right? And I'm over here
Yes.
sweating. I go underground, give the people. I finish the tour. I come up out of the underground tunnels. Cops are swarming the place. This guy's
Oh
sitting
my
there holding his
gosh.
face like, there he is.
Uh-huh.
And one of the finest female Seattle cops approaches me, and I'm like, oh, this is over for her. Okay, I'm like, how you doing, officer?
Oh, she
You
was
know,
fine. She was fine.
Yo, she was fine as hell.
You're trying to shoot your shot with the.
Oh,
Bro,
my
yeah.
Lanta.
Are you kidding me?
When do I get to use those lips? Call back.
So I'm talking to this cop. She's like, "What happened? What happened?" I'm like, "As you can see, officer, I'm an entertainer. I am merely an entertainer, and I was trying to give these kind folk a tour, and this guy kind of accosted us, so I had to put him down. I got 50 witnesses saying that he started it. He was the hostile one. He was aggressive, and I was defending myself and the tour group, and she liked that a lot. She gave me her
And-
business card.
And you went back to her place and she locked her up.
Yeah, 100%.
Baby number 3.
Yeah, I gotta stop having babies. I only have 2. Stop.
You ever think of the snips?
Yeah, I think I might do it. But also, too, as a man.
What
Okay.
are you trying to say right
I'm
now?
saying men stay fertile their entire lives, and I want this seed to be as accessible as possible when need be. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
So you just want more views in the world.
No, I think me giving up the ability to reproduce, I don't know. It'd probably be a lot easier for me to do it than women, you know? The way I see it is like, why should women have to get abortions if they don't want to or
Yeah.
that thing? If guys, and it's cheaper, it's like $600, snip your dick, do whatever you want. I don't know why more guys aren't on board with it. I would probably do it, but I
Yeah.
just haven't gotten to
But
it.
Meredith, you want to have kids, huh?
Eventually.
You
yeah.
can undo a vasectomy.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I mean, are you getting laid enough to like utilize not nutting and then?
You're not shooting up the club.
I'm not
lately.
shooting up the club.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So
I should've
Everyone
probably-
flaky,
just do the online stuff, but they literally
flaky flake.
last minutes I was like, we need to reschedule, and I'm just like, it's all good. I'm used to it. You know.
Oh, just don't even answer.
Say what?
Don't even answer when they say I gotta if they cancel
Yeah.
and they don't immediately on the spot say when can we again or reschedule, it ain't
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
it's true.
like because if they really wanted to see you and something did come up, you know they'd be like, hey, gotta reschedule. What are you doing this day?
No, she did.
Oh, she did?
She said, "How about tomorrow morning? This morning?" And I was like, "I got church." Actually, I don't, but that's what I said.
What? Did she
Wait,
want
did
to
you
come
actually
over?
say I don't
I'd-
have church?
I
That's
don't.
funny.
She said, "How about tomorrow morning?" And I was like, "I can't do tomorrow morning. I'm supposed to do the dinner date tonight, but we'll see."
Dude, imagine a date Sunday morning. The
It was-
first date is Sunday morning. Go to church together.
But listen to this. I said, let's meet up last night, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm going to this Mike, people of color. She's black.
Yeah. Oh, you're dating a black chick?
Perfect.
No, I mean,
She's black.
yeah, she's black.
Really? I
she's-
didn't know you were a black woman.
Yeah, she said, I want to meet you outside of your show or comedy. Because I thought, you can come to the show, blah, blah. And I said, well, the mic is from 7:30, 8:30. How about we have dinner at 8:30? Because I was not going to simp and be like, okay, I won't go
don't
to
do-
it. You know
don't
what I
change
mean?
your plans.
So then she's like, yeah, okay, at 8:30, we'll meet up in Belltown, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then she says, I need to reschedule. How about tomorrow morning? And I was like, well, how about tomorrow evening?
You know what it sounds?
What do you
it
want
sounds
to do
like you
in the
got
morning?
bumped.
What do you want to do in the
That's
morning?
exactly what
Like,
I was
unless
thinking.
like you're trying to come over and plow. What are we doing?
Dude, it sounds like you got bumped, kind of.
Yeah, we're back.
Where were
Talking
we?
about Chloe's sad life?
Wait, I'm not sad. This is the happiest
I didn't
I've
say
ever
you were
been.
sad. I'm
Oh.
saying your life is sad.
That
You're a
sounds-
happy person.
That seems very.
You're happy that your life is sad.
Chloe got past at laughs. She's a regular on the Ways podcast. This is
Hey.
the
Dude,
happiest she's ever been.
Angela is taking me in under her wing.
Yeah.
She's very sweet. And
She gets on to club comedy every Wednesday. She's
Nice.
a very beloved little new comedian. in
She's
Seattle.
beloved.
We were talking about how
Oh yeah.
Chloe is, up and coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we were talking about me. I don't know. You're right. The first year is just like
It's
fun.
awesome.
It's like fun. It's like exploration of like
Yeah.
what kind of jokes do I want to tell, or what do I want to say. It's like it's like creative mode. And now I'm starting to get into I need to polish the jokes that I have. It takes so long to form an
Yeah.
identity and start to form jokes. And a lot of my friends are like, post more jokes. And it's like, dude, it took me like 3 months to come up with that last joke that I posted. So it's not like I'm like every day coming up with a hitter,
Yeah.
It's like a lot of
That's the
pressure.
thing. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna put something on unless I know, like put something online unless I know this joke is funny and it works. And even then, it's like, hopefully I get enough likes and laughs.
It's
But-
hard putting stuff online because it's so much better live. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
the
that's true.
same.
That's
And jokes still evolve over time. You'll
Yeah.
Yeah.
come.
Oh
you'll,
yeah.
You'll tag on top of that.
Yeah.
Or even you
True.
be like take out
Bro.
words.
Sometimes like I feel like I've made several jokes where a few months after I made the joke, whatever I was joking about fucking happened. Cause you remember I had the freaking
Like it happens in real life.
yeah.
Uh.
So I had that story with White Tyrone. You know White Tyrone.
Yeah, yeah.
And White Tyrone goes, yeah.
Wait, I don't know White Tyrone.
You
but
don't
that
know White
sounds-
Tyrone?
It sounds really good.
Yeah. Okay. So White
One of
Tyrone
your
led
hits. I know.
into the Amber Alert joke, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, no cop's gonna answer a Lakeisha alert.
Yeah.
And then
It's a good joke.
thank
These
you.
are, these are the
And then-
hits. I know
And
this
then
joke.
like,
I
and
heard
then,
that one,
and then
too.
shortly after that, Gavin Newsom in California starts the Ebony Alert for missing black children. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, and
Have
then
you added that?
I've added that into
Dude,
my
that's-
shit.
that's
and bro,
golden.
because I got this one joke that because now I'm like, yo, Ebony Alert is kind of racist though. It sounds like what white people say when they think too many black people are in the room. And like, bro, people die at that.
I've
'cause I'm like,
never- I've never
honey,
said that.
too many niggas in here. Ebony Alert, Ebony Alert, Ebony Alert. You know, people love that.
What is it with too many Asians? The Chang alert?
I don't know. I think they should
Mulan,
call that the yellow
Mulan.
alert, but
POC alert.
POC alert. Well, then I'd have what about my Amber Alert? And what does this mean for
Are
all
you
the
down
white
with
kids
the
out there
POC?
now? Like, dude, like, so why don't we make it an Ivory Alert then? Like, or otherwise change all the kids' names to
isn't it
Amber.
Amber is like the color of your energy.
No, Amber is the
Ah.
name of the little white girl that got kidnapped that invented the whole alert system for missing kids.
But
Oh,
Amber
wow.
is the
Yeah.
color of your energy.
Please stop.
God. I look over and I'm like, Chloe?
Dude, me and Meredith are opposites.
Yeah.
I'm very strict. and
Yeah. I'm looking at, every time you start talking, I look over at Veered and he's just like,
Cut it out.
She's
No.
just like,
Stop.
Dude, that's our entire relationship. I'm like, la, 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 and he's like, da, da, eat that, ooh.
so.
Amber alert.
Amber
joke
Alert,
has
because
been
it used to be the whole cops won't respond to a Lakeisha alert, but now I don't use that joke anymore. I just
That's
tie
why
it
jokes
in.
are dope. They
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah.
It's the analogy of like there's always more meat in the bone, and you
Yeah.
just keep on pulling from it.
Oh, yeah.
which is dope.
Do you ever look back at your older stuff and you're like, that sucked?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. Like I saw footage of my first comedy show,
hmm
and it was so bad. People were laughing, but I also think it's one of those things, like for the graduation show, the teacher even said, like, there will be people there that laugh.
It's easy.
You know, it's a really easy show, but like, and I'm glad people laughed. They knew when to laugh, but I'm like looking back and I'm like, why did you laugh?
But even a year, 2 years from now, you're going to say the same about these jokes that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I hope so.
If we all continue.
Oh, I'll be
you know,
continuing this.
yeah.
I don't think I can do anything else.
I literally thought I was done just a month ago because of the whole burnt out thing.
Really?
Because I was just.
I would have been so pissed off if you're like, I don't do comedy anymore. I'm like, well, what do you do? You're like, what do you say in podcasts? I'd be so mad at you.
Worried about you.
And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Like his mental health. He had like a mental breakdown from going to 43 nights in a row.
It was
open mics.
It was just like, and I started dabbling in weed.
Good for you.
The devil's lettuce.
You know,
Yep,
and the thing
Lucifer's
is,
cabbage.
my paranoia went up so high that I'll go into certain rooms and people would give me certain looks and I'd be like, what does that mean? Does that mean they don't like me? Are they going to be talking about me? You know what I mean? And that intensified every night to where I was like, I can't do the show. We were at the 907 and the lights went out in downtown Renton and the comic and stage, the microphone
left me in there and it was dark.
Did the
and
microphone
he left
work?
me.
Nothing worked and the comedian started screaming the rest of his set. The bartender's like, get the fuck off people are panicking right now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
One of
I
the
mean, bro,
managers-
that's how desperate comics are.
No, that's how
Dude, the desperation was like
egotistical, self-centered comedians are. Like, no matter
Yeah.
what, I will get stage time. God was like, you guys are stinking up the place. We're going to shut this
the
shit down.
manager had to go up to him and be like, this is not safe. Sir, give me the mic.
Dude, who was it?
We're not going to say.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
Keon,
right.
you are the worst at this.
I'm not a good secret keeper.
We're going
I'm
to
not a-
Yeah, we know.
we'll say after the show.
Okay. That's
But
like
yeah, the
like I said, I'm just
desperation.
trying to keep this thing.
Stage time.
I'm trying to be,
yeah.
there's already enough drama in the scene. This platform is, we're trying to be
Gotta
sweet.
get that stage time, baby.
We're trying to be
Good. Stay out of the drama.
exactly.
Stay out of the drama.
Because as we know, there were
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Keon's over here like,
I love everybody in the comedy scene for different reasons.
yeah, exactly.
You know, like I got nothing but love.
I got nothing but love for you, brother. Sorry, I wanted to try that out. No,
But we're
did we cut that out?
we're driving down the 6th and that's terrible.
Fuck.
Should we cut that out?
We'll cut out a lot of things.
Not too much. Not as much as the first time we did this.
Yeah,
Oh,
First
yeah,
time we
yeah,
did
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this was
a shit show.
we.
But the weed, I don't know. It put me in an altered mind state for sure. I don't smoke anymore.
What?
Yeah, I had to
Because
give.
AA, he wanted to go back to
Oh
AA.
yeah.
And my home group, they frown upon that being high.
Well,
Well, because it's a mind-altering substance.
But there is a thing called California Sober.
yeah.
I actually went to a meeting online.
How was that?
It was all right.
Does
I
it-
mean, people are allowed to smoke and do psychedelics, but they don't drink. But it is a support
It's like
group.
Episcopalians, or what is it? A pescatarian, a person who says I don't eat meat, but I
But
do
eat
eat
fish.
fish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, if you want, it's
It's really how you look at it. Like
Yeah.
I could always go back to AA, but be smoking, but then I wouldn't feel. But me mentally,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
shouldn't
feel.
be hiding
Yeah.
things from
Exactly.
people in AA.
But
Do you go to AA meetings too?
I took her to one.
Yeah, I really am an alcoholic. I know a lot of people don't believe me, but it was ruining my life.
Interesting. The alcohol.
Yeah.
She would black out.
I couldn't stop drink. Like
Yeah.
once I would start off really soft, like, oh, I'm just gonna drink beer and I'll be chill. Just cut to 2 weeks later, I would be blacking out for like 8 hours. I don't remember
Wow.
anything. How did I get home?
So that's just
Sometimes
not
didn't make it home.
that's just not safe.
Yeah,
It's just
dangerous. So don't
Damn.
try to give me a beer again, Keon.
Listen, I offer alcohol as a sign
Sorry, I
of
was supposed to be
friendship.
working on my acre.
I was like, hey, like, if we're all here at a bar, let me get you a drink. It's not like I'm trying to get this bitch to relapse. That's not the motive.
a guy told me he wants me to relapse. So I'm suspicious of all you
Like-
motherfuckers.
no name dropping. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
I didn't say a name. You
We'll
notice
talk
that?
about that after the
I
show.
didn't say a name.
All right, back to the question.
It's, don't look at me. Don't
Wait,
look at
which step is the forgiveness one where I have to forgive people that I don't
Step
like?
4.
Can I skip that one?
No, you gotta do all 12 steps.
Why?
It's just the program.
Is there any other way to?
No.
I know. Stop. If you're gonna stop drinking, I want to ask you this. I want to
Yeah.
ask you guys this. So like, stop drinking if it's not healthy for you.
Yeah, yeah.
100 fucking
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the AA meetings,
Mhm.
do those help?
Yes.
And if they
Yes.
do, like, are there other methods other than going to AA meetings that do work? Or it's like you got to go there and have people tell you that you're bad for drinking.
No, it's there. Well, there's refuge recovery was really helpful for me too.
Like, but are AA meetings the only outlet
For what?
for alcoholism? Because my parents used to go to AA meetings.
No.
I've been to one before,
Yeah.
and I was like, how does this help? It just, I think,
Have
I
you
did-
been?
it
Wait,
did-
have you been to one?
yeah, I've been to an AA meeting.
Oh,
I've been to an NA meeting. I've been to AA meetings before,
I-
and those things didn't help. And I don't drink or do narcotics like
Yeah.
that anymore.
I think for me, when they say the word program, it's an
Yeah.
actual program that you work, like the steps, the 12 steps,
Yeah.
going to meeting. I have a home group. It's on Sundays
Yeah.
where I go and I do some type of, they call it a service position.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
whether you make coffee, give
See,
out
that
coins.
right there, that's what I want to know. Okay.
So I grew up, my childhood background was very dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of parental abandonment issues because my parents just weren't there. God bless them. They worked 2 jobs. My dad
Yeah.
was a janitor. My mom was a chef. But I never learned morals and ethics because they weren't ever around. So when I go to this program, my sponsor, he's like 65, right? And he was a crackhead, and they found him in South Lake Union. Like, that's how he got clean, because they saw him and he was trying to light his crack pipe, and they're like, we need to put you in the hospital. And he changed his life around. So when I see him now, it's like a candle that's like fully lit, and I see the morals and ethics in him, and I was like, I want that.
Oh,
Whatever
wow.
you did, I want. And I've just been so.
You're a nice guy. You've never come across as immoral or some dude that shits in people's cereal.
Yeah, but I mean, when I was in my teens, I was like stealing.
Oh, yeah.
I was smoking weed. I'd lie a lot. I'd steal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm 39. So
Oh, you look good.
yeah, it's been a lot of growth, but I like that. It's very similar to people that go to church. They need something for like the morals and ethics.
Yeah.
And for me, I never had that because for one, we were refugees from Laos, not the island, and
I was about to say.
not to be confused with the island. Yes.
so for me, it's the community aspect,
Okay.
and I just need that. And then so that's why when I got into comedy I did all those nights,
Yeah.
it was hard for me because I met a lot of shady characters that I felt didn't have morals and ethics. Some people came only to talk to me because they needed another ride to the open mic, but then wouldn't talk to me at sometimes when else when I see them. So everyone is damaged. No one is perfect, right?
Yeah.
But at least in AA, I find that people are trying to better themselves because
Okay.
at the core of AA, the number one thing that they promote is you need to help other people, and I like that. I like that message.
I like that
Yeah,
too.
the
You know what I mean?
The
Like
community
literally, that's the
aspect.
number one thing.
Who are you helping, Chloe?
Well, right now I'm on the first 2 steps, so I'm helping myself.
Good. And you're helping Virda with this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I really,
Look at
I
that. Look at
honestly,
that. AA did that.
I honestly just, I think it's really about the individual.
Yeah.
Like you could give up alcohol and never drink again,
yeah.
and it'd be fine, and you don't need AA, right? But then I choose to be in this program because I really enjoyed it, and it's helped me out. In
It's
other
helped you out a lot.
yeah,
yeah,
other
okay, I
aspects
see
of
what you
life,
mean.
yeah.
Just because, like, when I went to the AA meeting,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like the one you're at. Mine was, the way they were talking to people was a lot different. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like a program. It just seemed
there
like a
are some
place.
duds.
Yeah.
some
But
dad
there's a
groups.
meeting every 30 minutes in Seattle.
Get out of here.
That's how big the program is. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been to some meetings that I'll never go back to because
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
that's- Yeah, I was like, I didn't like the way it seemed like everybody that was just kind of venting, but they weren't talking about. I don't know. It just didn't. I was like, this isn't the way you say it. It feels it's a program and it's about helping other people. There was none of that at the
Exactly.
meeting I was
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
So I'm like, what is the point of these AA meetings? They're
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
But thanks for clearing that up, man.
Yeah. But then again, like it's kind of like trying to find a good open mic. You gotta run through them.
Yeah.
Till you find the spots that you like.
Yeah.
So and then that's what
And
I did.
usually when it comes to open mics, I just choose whoever's got the biggest crowd, the most people that aren't comics.
Exactly.
That's kind of it. That's
I'm telling you, man, you're gonna like this Space Inside place.
Okay.
Because it was only me and Chloe. It was great for comics
for,
wise.
Yeah. I was about to be like
and
people that
Angel.
aren't black.
And Angel. Angel went up there and he was really funny.
Yeah, but
That was
yeah.
funny.
so you have a standing room only. They couldn't have enough chairs. What?
Bro, that's tight.
And like,
Bro, that creates this whole vibe around that show now. Where it's just like, bro, we will sell out. There will only be standing room. Like, people want to go to events like that.
yeah,
So.
it's just you got to sit through some spoken word. You know.
Spoken word is so stupid. Spoken word, spoken word is just like really lazy poetry. And
Well,
poetry is
I've
really
seen
lazy.
some good spoken word. It gave me goosebumps though, like good spoken word.
But there was a rapper killed it.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he was
so
great.
good. He brought he was like right in the middle. Everybody was getting you were like, oh, what?
Oh, he was
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So it's a very entertaining show. You know what I mean?
I'll see it. I can't wait to go.
Yeah,
I can't wait to go.
It's gonna be fun.
a lot of beautiful people.
How are we doing on time? I know you're a busy guy. We've definitely gone. while?
Yeah, it's been about 2 hours, 2-something hours.
Okay. Well,
Are you hungry? You got food.
I'm gonna chop up this burrito.
It's still there.
I know.
Is it cold?
It's all good.
I'm probably gonna get out of here though.
Okay. Well, Keon, I've always appreciated you. Extremely funny man. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
And we'll be on the lookout for the next big prosperous things you got coming. I
Hell
know
yeah.
I know it's right around the corner. And we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.